Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of whatever this is. And today, hello, I'm recording on a new setup. It looks old. It's new. How you doing all? Hello? Hello. Oh, I'm over here. How you doing? Hey, music, huh? That's pretty good, right? What am I doing? Okay. Let's put the mouse right there. Okay, in the last episode, where's the volume? Okay, in the last episode, I decided for the first time to become a miracle worker, and you saw me play out the first few days. Well, fast forward a year or two, and this is what we got going. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wonder from Phenom Farm. I'm like 6 months into it. It's the middle of fall on year 2. Don't look at Jawbo down here. That's something else. That's a different project. Okay, on with the show. Okay. Ooh. No. No, just stop. Don't play that. Okay. Okay, here we go. You know what? I could use a little bit more brightness here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm video production king. Oh my gosh, this is the wrong song. I have 2 games going on and it doesn't match at all. Hold on. I know you can't see this, but what can I do? The 3DS doesn't have a HDMI out. You know what would happen if it did? You'd never see me play the end of this. Okay. Okay, that'll do. So you may have noticed my house is different. This is the El Dorado set. Here's my horse. It's in the whatchamacallit here, the stable. And here's the inside of the El Dorado, whatever. Everything's made of gold, and there's a cake back here. Some fruit. I think if I touch it, it turns to gold. Kind of a King's Midas situation here. 2 dragons holding giant rubies with 6 staffs around them. Here's my display of gold and mithril and silver and the orcharium stuff. And then here's my crown, some jade and amethyst there, and then a pink ruby and some diamonds and a pile of gold there. So this is the meeting place, this is the other room, and this is my kitchen where I make my meals. This is my amazing bed, which maybe someone will join me there. Here's my gold mailbox. Ta-da! Okay. Shoot, I forgot to put the graphics settings up. Oh wow, it's just gonna have to look awful. Okay. So let me show you around my farm. And I think the best way to do that is to go into the happy go-go time. You may hear the sound of distant rain, but believe me, that's not it. Okay, here we go. Because now it's lighter outside and you can see. So, the idea of a farm is that you have to start in the morning at 6 o'clock and do a loop-de-loop. So as soon as you get out of bed, you come out here and you head this way. So we're going around this way. Because if you want to water your crops twice, it's best to water them as early as possible. Hello! So that you can water them twice. If you water them in the middle of the day, you're not going to get dehydrated enough for you to water the second time, because then the day will be over. So you got to water first. So what do I put in front of me? I put this thing. It's the liquid fertilizer thing that I fill my watering can up with. And then this is my rice paddies. In the spring, I plant the rice and it grows all the way till fall, and then they get harvested in the fall. And then from there, from fall to winter, it's wasabi. And then when the spring rolls around, wasabi has done a few rounds of that, and then it's back to the rice. I'll get the rice from the first batch from the seed maker. That's down there. So after I water this, and I've got my watering can full of good, awesome fertilizer, I go down inside the basement. I'll show you that later. But after I come out of the basement, I come back here and I check my mushrooms. Mushrooms. There's 6 types of mushrooms, And so they're really easy because there's only two stats. There's only the top two, the color and the whatever. They don't have the other two stats. They don't get big and they don't get for propagated. So they're easy, so I don't really need them. This gives me extra mushrooms, which I don't need it. I can condense that a little bit if I need to later on, want to. These statues, this one is the maiden with the shield, and so this makes it so that things get done more awesome. Now, the product of some of these things like feed maker, a fodder is always going to be the same quality, so it doesn't need the quality boost that it would get from the shield. But it could use a boost from the speed, getting done faster, producing quicker. That's where the spear is. This one does speed. But there's some, of course, the important stuff that needs speed and quality, so that when I put my ingredients into these factories, it comes out quicker and also better than what it was by a slight margin. And then these ones don't care about like cloth. Cloth is always going to be the same. This giant sewing machine, you know. So that's what I got going on. The ones in the middle and then the ones on the side, they get done fast enough they don't need the speed boost. I could boost them more. Perhaps I'll do that because I hear that the effects of these can stack like 3 times. But I've already got these ones in the middle stacked twice. Anyways, this I've tailored down my my honey productivity a lot. This will improve the honey, and then this will collect more money. So after a couple rounds, you usually get 2 honey, but that will make me get 3 honey per whatever, because I want to ramp up my production of food, fish. So there's 8 altogether, and these will make my fish get more awesome faster. So there's 2 sets of those. And then every screen, there's 3 screens that your farm can be. You can have 4 pets. I used to have the pets up there because when I come back to check on them at 17 o'clock, then ta-da, but that's only 6 spaces up there. And for pets, I need 8 spaces because each pet house wants to be accompanied by the cat king statue. That makes them do better at their job. Now you notice that there's no slide, nothing for the pets to play on in here because when you do that, it's fun to watch your pets play, but then they miss their jobs. So no fun for the pets. Maybe for some, but that's for later. So the main obstacle in this game is for the first hard thing is to get the winery. You've got to have enough coconuts and azuki beans to get through that stage of the game. And then the last stage of the game is you got to get the jam factory, and that's required a certain ingredient called thyme, and thyme is only able to get that out in the wild. But dogs can find thyme if you have dogs that can find plants. So I have 3 dogs in the front here. All these 3 can possibly find thyme, and they did bail me out actually a couple times. They found 3 thyme at a time, and that's so much more than whatever spawns out in the wild. This one finds fishes. So if you come back at 17 o'clock, that's when the shipment goes out from this box. Somebody comes by and takes out, and then you get your earnings the next morning. But that 17 o'clock is also when your animals find what their job is ascribed to. So they'll find the plants, usually. Sometimes they don't find anything. And then that one will find the fish. And so I quickly check them, and I come down here. These are herders, so I don't check them. But down here is other pets, because you can have, again, 4 pets. So there's 1, 2, there's 3, 4. These are not herders, so they don't interact with the farm animals. But they find me more stuff, materials, gems, that sort of thing, wood blocks, branches. So they're down here. And at this point, it's 17 o'clock, but it's 17:30. The half an hour has passed. And now it's like 17:45. And then these are the last 2. These last 2 find me stuff here because the other 2 pets for this part of the screen is down here, which are more herders. And these herders get my animals in and out of the barns so that I don't have to feed them. It just makes it quicker that way. Now these herders, herders on the other screen are the cats. These ones are the capybaras. And capybaras go inside this hot tub and they chill out. The little notes pop up above their heads, and I like seeing that. So at least the capybaras get something to do, and they don't ever miss their jobs because eventually they'll get to herding the animals. Whereas these, the ones that find items, they will miss it altogether. So this is the most optimal farm, I think. Sometimes you gotta have a, instead of a flamingo, you might want to have a king chicken statue, because the king chicken statue does 3 spaces in front of it to put up the quality of whatever comes out of the animals in that barn. So it'll apply to this square and it'll apply to this square. So it can reach these barns and make them awesome from long range. And then to maximize my output from each, I have each barn accompanied by a giraffe statue. This barn here is not in use, and this one is for the overflow of the result of pregnant creatures like cows and things. I tend to like to have the least amount of animals as possible, 1 of each. So inside here, I'll have 3 cows. Inside here, I'll have 3 chickens. And then the animals will take care of the rest. And then that's all there is to it. I might take away this farm and put out something cool stuff, but for now, see how this last little space here is pointed upwards, so that reaches here, and then this from far away reaches facing this way, so it buffs that farm. And then these 2 houses are being pinched by these 2 cat animals, which just helps a ton, so you don't have to throw the cat ball and the dog bone to your pets, because playing with your pets is the worst thing in the game. They're so difficult to manage. These are fall trees. I will soon cut them down once fall is over, because all trees are being moved to the cellar, because that's where trees should go. But as long as they're producing fruit for the first or the second year, then they might as well stay up. This is the row of epic, awesome richery, which has all the different kinds of pearls. So if you put this one down, it forces these 2 down here to grow, what was it, green pearls. This is white pearls, this is yellow pearls, this is blue pearls, this is golden pearls, and this is red pearls. And you'll need that mostly not for selling, but for building certain things, so that you can build. Now these are the same as the chicken statues, but they do close range stuff. They don't do the far range stuff. Well, the chicken statues does the perks from far range, close range as well, but no, these are cheaper and easier to make. So usually it's flamingos. I like to have barns close together so that you only have 1 fence to jump over, right? So if this barn was over here 1 space and this row of flamingo and giraffes weren't here, then the 2 fences would be close together and you'd only have to press the B button once. But I couldn't figure out how to buff both farms at the same time without having this configuration, because my goal is to have a open spot of 4 spaces there and a 4-spot block right here as well, so that I can put silly things on here. I noticed that certain farm circles you can interact with. You can actually sit down on this chair and you can sit down on this swing, and those are the crop circles that I like the best. This one you can run under at least. Anyways, that's dumb. I will chop these other, this is like persimmons and this is olives or something, the other 2 trees, because there's 4 different trees for fall. And that is the farm. I've got everything covered. I've got all the pearls of every single different size that I'll need. If I pare this down after a while, then I'll take out 1 row of all of this, and so that only there'll be 1 each. But I see for now no reason to pare that down. Maybe if I wanted more fish. But really, it kind of gets boring standing in front of these things and feeding each one of these 8 pools, and like, how many more of these do I really want? So now let's take a look at the cellar, because this is the first thing you do in the day. I will reload this afterwards, but this is summer. So there's 3 sections. You come down into the middle of it, and if you start from left to right, then this means that this is spring. And I basically for spring and fall, only put the renewable plants down in here. I may have discussed this in another in the video already, but we'll go over it again. Strawberries and cucumbers, when you pick them, they're still there. They're not the plants that come out of the ground and then you have to replant them. That would mean that I have to run out of the cellar, go over to the seed maker, get the seeds out, and come all the way back down here. I don't want to be going back and forth. Eventually, these plants will come up, and I'll have to get the seeds. But for now, they work well enough. Bamboo is important because bamboo, actually, if you leave it here in the spring, they grow stuff. And then I have here. I'm only doing one tree per plant per whatever. So there's not 2 cherry trees like there can be multiple maple trees, because otherwise I'd have to fertilizer both of them. So you go into the bag, you pick whatever it needs, and then you let it have it. And if you don't know what it needs, super fertilizer, and then if it doesn't take the super fertilizer, everything is maxed out, and you're going to get giant cherries in that tree for now. There will be emergency if I really needed like turnips or something. I would get out this tool, and then bam, and bam, I would put the turnips here, the radishes here, and then I would get my watering can, and then whoosh, spinaroo, and then there you go. If I needed stuff to make fertilizer, oh my gosh, that song. If I needed fertilizer stuff, then, oh my gosh, I'm tearing. This is awful. I'm zoomed in. Then I would get these trees and then plant more trees. The big trees are growing up back here where I get the branches from. And yeah, that's everything that's going on inside here. There's another copy because these leaves will be different. See, these will get the summer leaves. These will get the spring leaves. And then typically these are plants that don't need watering. So I tend to put the fodder on the same plot as the tea leaves. Don't forget to mine up here every day. And then there are 13 trees or whatever, different types, bananas, mangoes, starfruit. All of these will grow during the summertime. Now, during the summer, there are certain plants, just like the strawberries and cucumbers over there. There's tomatoes, pumpkins, melons, and these all come back. So tomatoes, pumpkins, melons, watermelon, paprika, pineapple. Morning glory is a flower, so that's important. And then the last thing ever is corn. Did you get that last out of everything? Now, these are the other plants that grow, that when I harvest them, they'll go on. I will need to do. So what I've been doing is that I've been just spraying them with water, and then the ones that take the longest to grow are the azuki beans and the soybeans. But the others, I don't need all of this stuff so quickly. And if I did, I just come down here and grab it. Like I needed more cotton, or I needed more of this. But in the meantime, I'll just harvest this all at once and wait for the azuki beans and the soybeans to grow. And then I'll do those types of other plants. Those ones can grow in any season. So I tend to put the trees in the back so that if the tree was here, it would cover up what's behind it because the trees are tall. So you got to keep the trees in the back, and in front of it, those smaller, lower field crops. And these are the ones for fall. Eggplant, sweet potato, there's the fall tea leaves. And then right here, I have emergency help. I need more carrots because I need to make a recipe, right? And then I'd open up these, and then I'd harvest the carrots, and then I have enough carrots, and then I would close these back down with the hammer. I've just planted new trees down here. So there's grapes, apples, olives, and persimmons. And then I have the same sort of thing if I needed more lumber, instead of buying lumber at Holt's place in Westwood or Westtown, then there's trees in there to chop if I so choose. Lemon, giant lemon. Lychee, you know, I don't need all this stuff. Keep it on the tree. It looks pretty. It's superly nighttime now. I will reload it. I think you've seen the farm. I don't know if I'll change much of it. All my pets are sleeping. And I, of course, have a horse. Oh, and also, giddy up horse. I wanted to show you that I've been documenting when things take place in this game, and trying to do it as fast as possible. So, a symbol of friendship, eternal promise. Oh, okay. Just yesterday, I broke my world record. This used to happen in the wintertime. But now I've got it with Miracle Worker to be about a month sooner than what I would have done as Tycoon, which is all towns are rank S. All towns rank S. There's nothing else to do. There's no reason to do any part-time jobs. I haven't actually done any part-time jobs except for those that were necessary and doing a little bit of weeding. But this is the last farming tips. This will happen when your towns are around rank B or rank A, because this is get all towns to rank B, so they kind of coincide. But actually, all my towns were ready to be rank A and S by the time Farming Tips 3 came around. This one takes the longest, so you've got to win every contest that you enter, and you've got to enter unique contests with, like, if you entered a cow on the first one, you got to enter a different cow or a chicken on the next one. You can manipulate what contests by restarting the second day of the month, because that's when it locks in which is very important, what the contest is for. So let me show you. Here, for instance, at the end of each month is Harvest Festival or Animal Festival. And then if you press Y on the calendar, you'll see that on Veteran theme, it's juiciness or color. And then on Expert theme, it's, so these things have a randomness and is determined on the second day. So when I wake up on the second day here on Friday, I'm training my crop like wheat or something to have, this will be like year one, the most juiciness. But if that doesn't show up, I'll restart that day on the night of the first, wake up into the second one again, and then there you go. So you can manipulate the contests, which will make winning the contest easier to do, which will help your branded items, because by winning contests, that's why you get branded items. Also, the cooking festival is very important because you got to go full course each time, which means you got to have tons of recipes. This is too easy, and that was no sweat. And then, yeah, events 1, blah, blah, blah. Of course, that's all easy. One other thing to note before I restart is that you'll see that these are my animals. I have one cow, one of each. Whoa. My Jersey cow got big. Buffalo. They're all timid. You see on the type, there's the S rank for the byproduct level and the coat. There's the type, and everything is timid. The sheep I should have made perhaps not timid, but the one that ups the byproduct level. But timid gives you byproduct amount. So whenever I milk the cow, I get 20 milk instead of 1 milk. So that was important for me to get that going early. So sweet fodder and sweet treats, and it goes pretty fast. And then I don't have to have a second cow because it gives me so much. And then I concentrate on byproduct level, which gives me the golden milk. Same thing with the sheep. I get a ton of wool, and then I'll focus on getting the byproduct level up, and then that'll give me wool plus golden wool, and then I can make things from that better and be more whatever. And then I'll focus on the coat, and then I'll focus on the size. So right now things are pretty much wrapping up. There's a few animals that don't have rank S in everything, or 20. Everything has 20 except for the babies. They're new arrivals. I have 3 kind of birds, chickens, the chicken, and then the silkie, and then the quail. So all I need to do is have give a few more velvet treats to the silkie, and then he'll be in the same boat as the others. You'll notice they all have 1 win, so I've been cycling through making sure that each one of my cows or chickens, when I sell their eggs, I'll get more money because they've won contests. And okay, that's the animals, and I think that's pretty much it. So in the morning, I just wanted to show you what the game looks like, what you can achieve before the second year is even out. I am about to get married. I could have got married to Stephanie in the summer, but I decided to go a month further to go for a different person to marry, which happened. I think I had a proposal on the 6th of fall. So then what they do is they schedule it 10 days in advance. And so the 16th will be the big day. That's why there's a red heart on the calendar there. So thank you for joining me for this one. Whoops. Hi. And I'll see you all in the next one when we'll watch the wedding ceremony. How do I turn this off? Okay, stop there.